So in this video, we're going to test the camera on the Xiaomi Mi 10, put it up against the iPhone 11 Pro, and compare it to the Xiaomi Mi Note 10 as well, which uses the same main camera sensor, but a different processor. The Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro is the #1 rated camera smartphone according to DxOMark. You may or may not believe in DxOMark's ranking system, but anyway, the Mi 10 actually has a completely different camera setup to the Mi 10 Pro, apart from this main camera sensor, the 108 megapixel HMX. The Mi 10 uses a 13 megapixel ultra-wide camera and a depth sensor along with a macro sensor too. Let's test zoom for video, so we're going to crop in on this street sign. Both the Mi 10 and the iPhone go to 6x zoom in video. Let's switch to 4K resolution to see if it looks a bit clearer on both of the phones. Have a look at the selfie footage and compare it to the iPhone, which I think is one of the more natural looking images that you can get from a smartphone. Xiaomi phones usually brighten and lighten up skin tones, which for my skin tone personally is not that suitable. Have a little listen to the audio quality of both the iPhone 11 Pro and the Xiaomi Mi 10. Xiaomi have put stereo speakers in the Mi 10, which is a big upgrade from the Mi 9 certainly. They didn't really talk too much about any more microphones or the quality of the microphones, so just decide for yourself which one is better, either the iPhone 11 Pro or the Xiaomi Mi 10. The main lens on the Mi 10 is stabilized both with optical and electronic image stabilization. So let's test it out in a running test against the Apple's iPhone. The iPhone looks really shaky, but halfway through, maybe the processor realizes what's going on and seems to correct everything. The Mi 10 looks very stable throughout. Let's test the zoom range for photo, zooming in on this street sign. Both of the phones have a 10x zoom range. But if we switch to 108 megapixel mode on the Mi 10, you can see it creates the same results, so you can just crop into the image. Images from the ultra wide through to the 2x zoom, which you get in the camera apps, are really good looking. They just have some slightly different colors. Which one you like is going to be up to personal choice. The iPhone tends to shoot warmer colors overall. But overall, I'm really impressed with the main shooter on the Xiaomi Mi 10. You can get some amazing looking images. I still think the iPhone is the king for video, but when it comes to photo, you just have so many different choices with this 108 megapixel sensor. Also going through the zoom range of the wide into the main, into the 2x, into the 5x, and then into the 10x zoom, I think details are preserved and also colors look very uniform throughout. There's no doubt you can get some really great shots with this phone and pretty much any phone these days. The exposure of the ultra wide lens I felt tended towards the brighter side. I like a little bit punchier images like you get from the iPhone, but this is down to personal choice again, and actually this is easily fixed and edited after you take the images. Overall, considering the price difference, it's amazing what you can get out of the Xiaomi Mi 10. This is 4K video, and I think stabilization is really great for 4K, even though the colors are very, very punchy and saturated. So if we look at another 4K shot, you can see just how punchy and saturated the reds are in the image. If we switch to 1080p, you can see all of those colors are just toned down a little bit and more natural. You can also record 8K video on this phone, an insane resolution, but you can see there's no stabilization whatsoever. So for me, 8K is just not something you would use in a point and shoot manner. You would have to put this on a tripod and lock off the shot. Colors are also really, really punchy and saturated in this mode. I would want to turn them down in the editing suite, but honestly, the resolution is just insane. But another really great feature that they have is called movie mode, which essentially puts black bars at the top and bottom of the image and makes what you shoot look like a movie. So should you buy the Mi 10 with the flagship processor, or is the Mi Note 10 a better option considering it has the same main camera sensor? The Mi Note 10 actually has a better zoom range, but the processor in the Mi 10 is going to give you so much more firepower in terms of image processing. Unsurprisingly, versus the Mi Note 10, it's going to look almost identical, mainly because of the color reproduction, and the look and feel of the images and the processing of them is going to be similar because it's the same manufacturer. With the Snapdragon 865, you are of course going to get a ton of benefits over and above just image processing. But if you're not a heavy user, you're not a gamer, and you enjoy longer battery life, then the Mi Note 10 might be for you. You can see by the sample images that zooming in up to 5 times doesn't really result in too much loss of detail. Definitely subscribe if you want to see a side-by-side comparison of the Mi 10 versus the Mi 10 Pro and the Mi Note 10 as well. And a quick night mode test on these 3 phones. This is full studio lighting, then with one of the lights turned off, going through to almost a pitch black scene. All phones perform really well, but the iPhone definitely stands out here. Subscribe for all the latest tech news and videos. That's it for now, but I'll see you in the next one.